After a long day of being pulled in every direction, the last thing anyone wants to think about is what's for dinner. That's where Schwann's can help, with a variety of real food choices, frozen to lock in freshness. From ready-made meals, premium meats and side dishes, to vegetables, ice cream, and more. Schwann's foods go from freezer to table in minutes, not hours, so you can pull off a delicious meal in no time at all. Ordered, delivered, done. That's homemade easy. To help simplify mealtime, visit schwans.com. This is Julie.
Hey, calendar, what's my morning like?
Julie's about to have a long day.
At 9 a.m., soccer carpool. 9:10, purchase birthday card. 9:05, dry cleaning.
Did you just go backwards?
I'm sorry, I can't fit that question into your schedule. 9:15, cry for a little bit.
For days that won't end, let Schwann's help. With Schwann's, you can get delicious meals that go from freezer to table in minutes, not hours. Ordered, delivered, done. That's homemade easy. Visit today at schwans.com.
Hi there, this is Jim the Keys bartender coming to you from Key Largo, episode 182. I'm here with Jenna Kelly.
Hello, everyone.
This is the Vagina Penis Monologues. The Vagina slash Penis Monologues. Forget about the slash part. I know it's a slash is kind of innuendo. Comma. Yeah, not saying slash. Right? That is, you know what? I understand just as immediately I was saying it, I wanted to unsay it. No, we can't unsay slash or gash or anything like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So just comma it. There you go.
I'm going to open up with this words from a wise legal mind.
Okay.
Judge Smells. And I just want to, it's a poem worth repeating. It's easy to grin when your ships come in and you've got the stock market beat. But it's the man worthwhile is the man who can smile when your shorts are too tight in the seat. It's Ted Knight did that one. That was great. I for the longest time I was trying to remember that poem, and I just wanted to say
I would like to dissect it.
What? Oh no, there's no
dissection?
There's nothing. It shows up in the movie Caddyshack when they're dedicating their sailboat at the yacht club, and Mrs. Smells it says, "Oh, there'll be plenty of music for you to shake your booty down by the dock," and stuff like that. She's like 70, 80 years old. But I always loved that one, and I thought, what a great way to open a show for no reason whatsoever. And you can just search for a meaning for that, but there is none. I mean, when has your shorts, why would they be too tight in your seat?
On your butt, right? If you're sure, like maybe your butt cheeks are oozing out, like those girls from Miami.
Okay, I don't know. I
don't know.
I don't know either. I've known recently. I think you pointed out a month or two ago how big my legs got.
Yeah.
How big my legs got. And
but I wasn't talking about your butt.
No, because it's weird because I always had skinny legs, and since I've been the spin instructor,
right?
Spinner. I got these big ass muscles in my leg.
Jim
I don't want to
spinner.
say that, yeah, but it's proportional with my body, right?
He's the lead spinner.
But we can with the vagina penis monologues. I thought it would be because of the Me Too movement. We could talk about how we think about our sexuality and our private parts. And being part of Keys, since we're very free with our... there's a image of the Keys being very free with the way we view our bodies. And if you went down to Fantasy Fest in late October, you would notice that there's a lot of people that don't worry... Yes, that do not worry about displaying their private parts.
Even no matter their body types, size, shape, anything. There's
penises and vaginas.
They're everywhere.
And you notice that because there's no, and they body paint it and all that stuff. And with the body paint, there's actually was...
some of them are pretty impressive.
Yeah, there was actually a girl in New York City that walked down. Oh, I don't know if it was New York City
No,
or
walk the runway, right? With painted jeans.
it wasn't a runway. It was on the street. I thought.
Oh.
Okay, could have been a runway, but with painted jeans.
Yeah.
And she's completely naked below the waist, and no one really noticed.
Right.
I mean, they may have looked and stuff like that, but it's interesting. I guess if you look closely.
I mean, I hope she put a piece of tape.
No, maybe not.
Slash.
Who knows? I mean, I imagine if you said slash. I didn't say it.
Sorry.
Okay.
This is, I had a beer.
Yeah, I know. I knew you had a beer or 3 or 4. Me too. I had
Okay, that's funny though.
a beer
Anyway.
and I had a beer and a cider and a vodka or 2.
So your
My penis.
your vagina monologue.
My vagina monologue, which is a
me.
penis monologue.
Tell me about your.
I'm
vagina
gonna do one. You know what? This is my limited understanding of the vagina monologues. Came out about 15, maybe 18 years ago.
Yeah, but you said they were more about like empowerment of women. It wasn't
It is
so much
empowerment.
talking about vaginas, right?
Well, they do because they embrace their. It's an empowerment by you're owning your parts.
Okay.
This is this is from what I understand. This from what I understand is saying, listen, how you respect your vagina, and this is where it's mine. It's not yours, and not yours to take. And it's not, you do not have a say over how many children I have, or with the control of my body
how
is,
many
and stuff like
years
that.
I put in there.
Yeah, it's
Right.
me. It's me.
Right.
So it's like my penis monologue would be, it's like you do not control the amount of times I masturbate when I'm in the shower. Or how long it is. Or do I need a lock? Do I need a lock? No.
No.
And whether it's Michelle Pfeiffer, who I think about, I'm not saying I do, or
Yeah. I'm gonna try
Charlize
that.
Theron,
Oh.
not your choice.
Good one.
Not your choice. And I whether how I lovingly hold it, whether I
See, I'm just jealous
what
because I want one of those. That would be so just for a day. But it was funny because I had this conversation with
guys think the same thing.
right because you guys be like, ooh, what can I stick up there? Like, but
No.
I told-
I think it's the attraction pin. I mean, every so often I would get. It's amazing. Every so often when the woman say, you're very handsome and stuff like that. Well, a
You'd be
guy,
like,
if
would
a
you like
guy
to see
actually,
my penis?
no, if a guy, if I told a woman that and she said, and only this is when I was single and stuff like that, and she goes, well, yeah, you can have full access to my vagina if you want, like that, and say that, and like if someone came up and said that, and if I knew the same motivation was behind it, I would have had it led a totally different single life, which I was pretty hoary. Interesting for a guy with the last name Horan.
Horan.
I ran with it.
Whore, and
I'm
then
a
you
whore who
ran
ran with it. But, luckily I didn't run all the way to the Planned Parenthood to get an STD treatment.
Never had one, huh?
I didn't say that.
Oh.
I said I didn't run all the way to the...
So,
I mean, I had minor ones before and stuff like that. You get it. You get it. Girls get yeast infections too and stuff like that.
that's
That's
not an
minor.
STD.
You can get it. You can get it from someone else. You can get it because of sexual contact. There's minor ones. There are more minor STDs that are treatable.
Infection is not a yes.
No, it isn't. But you can get it from. You can.
Women can get it from taking antibiotics.
Yes, they can. And it could be. It actually could be with someone who has. Because yeast does form on surfaces.
It's very rare for a man to just develop its own yeast infection.
Because
your parts are
promote it.
external.
Not under the ball sack.
Oh, but that's not the part that goes in the vagina.
Booyah.
You're gonna take
Booyah.
your femunda?
Booyah. You never heard of
throw it
booyah
in
and
there?
stuff? Oh, it happens sometimes. I'm just
Well,
saying.
no, I'm just
And listen,
saying that it's
these scientists don't know because they've never done
you
it.
really should just take a shower.
Yeah, they should.
That
Well, we're in a hot region, and you should shower regularly down
You
here.
really should, yeah. I mean, I have a dock shower. There's one right there. Shower.
You should watch your junk as much as possible.
Wash your
I
junk.
think it's called a horse bath.
It is. My mom calls it PTA.
PTA? What's
Yeah.
it?
I thought it was pussy, tits, and ass, but I believe it stands for pits, tits, and ass.
Pits, tits, and ass. I like that.
PT, I think, right, Mom? Well, of course, Mom will answer us.
It'll
about
be a
it
couple
when
weeks
Yeah,
until
when
she's gonna be
this
angry.
one gets released. But yeah, Mom will have to.
Well, we are in the Keys, and I think that I would be surprised. Actually, our STD thing is probably much less than the Villages up in Central Florida.
You think so?
Oh, you know about the Villages, don't you?
Well, I don't know about the Villages, but I can tell you that I'm moved here from Wisconsin,
Oh, there must have been a shitload up in Wisconsin.
and my sons, when we first got here, even though they had
Do not say anything personal about your sons.
no, I'm not.
Okay,
No,
okay.
not at all.
I just wanted to say that.
Where we're from.
I was protecting you. You notice that, how I looked out for you?
Yeah, I know. It's
Go,
not,
no.
You know me. I would never say anything bad. about
Okay,
my children.
okay. I'm not saying bad, but
But-
you know, be open with
When
information.
we were up there, you know, of course, as a mom, you know, they were still in high school, so the twins were 16.
Good looking boys, too.
And well, yeah, and they both. Have,
I mean,
you know,
this is
they
a guy
have-
saying that. I apologize for saying that. They're handsome guys, and the problem with, well, I'll tell you about my theory behind that. Because good-looking guys can be a little discerning. The guys that aren't good-looking are less discerning, and they're more likely. They may, with less amount of penetrations, you could be more susceptible to more diseases. If you're more discerning and you're active and you're comfortable with using prophylactics, let's say, prophylactics is the surest protection against things. It certainly is. And no one can argue with that with me. They can try to argue with me, but prophylactics protect you against STDs. That's all I have to say. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay, so of course, as a parent, when I moved 1,850 miles away from home to live here, I had my kids go to the dentist, to the doctor, and make sure that everything that they needed was updated before we moved here. Because it's hard to source new doctors, dentists, everything else.
Yeah.
And when we got here, we realized that when I enrolled them in high school, local high school, they said no, they have to have a physical. I said they just had a physical. Here's their physical results. I had everything with me. They're perfectly healthy young men.
Oh, man, that's about
And they said, no, they have to have a Florida physical. I said, are you kidding me? Wisconsin obviously has much greater guidelines than Florida
I know,
does
Florida doesn't.
when it comes
You ever
to
seen
health.
a vehicle in Florida?
Well,
the vehicle control? I mean, they don't have doors. Some of them don't have windows. I mean, you're supposed to have a windshield, but I've seen one without a windshield.
So I had to take them to a local doctor to get another physical done before they could actually be accepted into the high
A
school.
pee-pee doctor?
No, just a regular pediatrician,
Right.
even though they were 16 years old.
Okay.
And I will tell you that local doctor took them aside and said, well, you're missing one of the vaccines that we recommend in Florida. And I said, they are
Oh,
vaccinated.
Pamplona
for-
virus?
I was like, they are vaccinated for absolutely everything from where we're from. I'm a big rule follower, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, no, they have everything up to date. He goes, no, let's, he was like, this is HPV.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, you may not have heard of it where you're from. He said, but the girls down here are a little different. And he looked them straight in the face and was like, you don't get a girlfriend here, you just get your turn in line. And Mike and Matt were vaccinated for HPV, which I found out later was crazy because a very close friend of
I
mine,
disagree with that.
that's what he told me.
I know he said that, and that's bullshit.
And I will
because
tell
I
you-
know I'm from Philadelphia. I'm from Philadelphia. The women are no different here than they are from Philadelphia.
They're way different here than where I'm from.
Okay, well, I say they're no different. There's some. Once again, we judge by the behavior of a few. I think we're judging by the behavior of a few. There's a lot of good people
Maybe
here.
there is, although
I think there's
my
some
twins,
frequent ones.
My twins showed up at high school in junior year, and they were like pieces of meat to those girls. They were like fresh meat. To the slutty ones, there was a couple of nice ones, but all those.
And in Philly.
My God.
And in Philly.
But they were, I mean, and they're handsome kids.
Yeah.
And so, of course,
Why
it was
wasn't
just
it?
girls. Just saying, like, oh, nope. I actually still have one of their pairs of shoes.
One of the girls?
Yeah, it was some random girl that, like, decided to show up at our house after we first moved here to see what Mike and Matt were all about. She left her
Do you have any in their
Converse.
panties?
No. But I have thrown plenty of them away.
Panties?
Yeah. I mean, if I wash the clothes and I know that they're not mine and they're female clothes, I throw them in the trash.
Oh, okay. Well,
You could ask Mikey about that one and his old girl.
That's pretty good. That's a good story, and I can't argue with that.
But-
and because it's high school students,
So-
I don't really feel super comfortable talking about it
But
because I'm at 55, soon to be
Vagina
56.
Monologues should tell them to respect their bodies and not be so slutty, because the boys...
Oh, don't blame the guys all the time. Blame the girls all the
The
time.
boys don't need that kind of attention. If you're a nice girl, then they'll notice that.
You know what? There's plenty of guys that you know that.
Oh, absolutely. My oldest son. Oh.
No, there's plenty. Well, wait. I'm not saying your oldest son. I'm just saying there's plenty of guys that are respectful women, and they force that stuff on
Well,
you. You
of
don't know.
course not. Okay, so let's just jump off of that.
No. That's all right.
Anyway.
Hey, wait. It's all right to be divisive on these things. It's fine. What the hell was that? Something jumped out
I
of
don't know.
the water?
Oh, it might have been a coconut. If a coconut falls, yeah, you hear it.
If a coconut falls and you don't hear it, did it really happen? Okay. So
Yes,
we.
because it leaves its
Yeah.
dents on the
Okay.
top of
We
it.
were.
So what about your penis monologues? Your
I did mine. I
did
did.
yours. That's it. That's all it was. Was whether
The
or not
shower?
how many times you jack off in the shower?
I didn't say all that. Well, it probably was a little better when I was a kid and I had to walk up to the chalkboard with an erection. And when you're wearing corduroy, I like corduroy. I mean, denim was better at hiding.
Because
An
they're
erection.
tighter.
They're tighter and it holds it back and stuff.
Right.
But when you get one and stuff like that, and obviously when you get older, you don't have
As
to
you
worry.
age, you don't have that anymore. You don't get just like random wood anymore.
about
Or
it.
does it only happen in the morning now?
When you
like
take the
morning?
Nugenics, I took my stuff and it happens more often now.
So now you can like randomly get a bone.
Yeah.
Like if you're just at work and you're like,
Yeah.
ooh, that's a sexy looking bottle of tequila.
Or if I'm sitting on the I'm sitting on the beer cooler and then maybe the condenser's running a little too long. No. Oh, what's that stain on your pants? No, nothing.
nothing.
I spilled a little. What was it? It had to be.
I was carrying bananas.
No, it had to be Coco Lopez. Coco Lopez looks exactly like semen. It does.
It was-
Yeah, Coco. But we do have the great thing about that is we do have all the colors. I can always match the color of what's going on, and that's Coco Lopez. I mean, as long as the person doesn't have like a bloodhound instinct, and they go and say, "That's not Coco Lopez, that's semen," But
See,
it
you know what
doesn't-
I never thought about
What?
before was that, of course, when we were having one of these like grotesque conversations when my husband and I, and then of course Damon and Joe, we were
Yeah.
all very open. And Damon and Joe, are like civil partnership. Therefore, like the four of us are always together all the time, and I'm the only
Yeah.
female. And I'm like, this is crazy. I'm like, I want one of those. Like, I just want one for a day, just to play with it. Like, how cool would that be? Right? And they were like, no, you don't. You really don't. Because you'd probably treat it like a 12-year-old, and you'd wear holes in it, and you'd get scabs.
You can
And
abuse
I
it.
had
You
no
can
idea.
shred. The soft skin on the outside needs to be treated tenderly, and it's got to be tough for the guys in the trades.
I had no
And the
idea.
guy, if you're in a
Guys
trade,
have calluses.
and the guy with calluses. Oh my
He's like, I
god!
can't jerk it. I'm going to wear it.
Oh
to
my
pretty
god! The
fingers.
guys with
Like,
calluses
oh, that's
got to
suck.
shred the hell out of their penises.
Jeez.
Ugh, it's got to be like a fucking cheese grater
Right?
on there with your dry, cracked hands, and they're like this. Oh, that would be a great commercial. That'd be a great commercial. Hey guys, are you tired? Jergens hand care. If you're
For
tired
the working man.
for the working man.
Wink, wink.
Yes. If you're in the trades industry and you have dry, cracked skin, you know the pain of sporting a shredded foreskin or what? I mean, when you first discover that, it gets shredded.
Okay,
man.
wait. Now I have a question.
What?
You have foreskin?
Yeah.
Like, all
No,
of it?
no. I'm circumcised.
Okay.
I got a helmet. Who knows? Okay, well, I think we're almost. Well, unless we can always go back to it, and there always is. But we'll go. We were in a previous episode. We were talking about the differences in between the upper keys, lower keys, and middle keys. Middle keys are kind of
Now, we got-
amalgam of both of us.
We
But I would say
nerded out. And
we
got
nerded out, and we did the
really-
history.
History, yes.
History of the development of the keys,
Mm-hmm.
and we talked about how Flagler built the railroad down there, how Key West was originally the largest city in Florida,
Yes.
and Miami became that throughout the 20th century, and where Key West is synonymous with adult, almost like with New Orleans, Las Vegas. I mean, Key West is one of those places. And Key West is probably, when you talk about, the thing about it I think gay-wise, I think New Orleans and Key West are similar.
I would say that I think that it's very tolerant.
Key West is tolerant.
And so is New Orleans.
Yeah, very
And I've
tolerant.
been to New Orleans, and I've been to New Orleans during Mardi Gras. But
Yep.
if you walk down the streets of Duval, or you walk down Duval Street and you walk down Bourbon Street, they could be sister cities.
Yes.
They're very, very similar.
Which Bourbon Street's a little larger.
Bourbon Street has higher buildings and more of them.
Yes. And
But
Key
it's
West...
still a very
Key
similar
West is,
vibe.
but the party mentality is more pervasive as part of the city because of the smaller population, where you
Right.
have that thing
well,
where
and it's isolated.
yeah, it's
so
isolated
it's
right
not
at the
like-
end of the chain.
Right.
And when you come in, we up here in Key Largo, people come to Keys and think they're in Key Largo. They show up at the bar and it's like, hey, we're in the Keys. I say, you're in Key Largo. You're not in Key West. You can't just take your penis out
No.
or your boob. And there's a woman woman that lives here, and it's funny. I guess I lived here long enough, and it was the woman that I went and I had to say to her, she wasn't very nice. She was somewhat attractive, a regular down here. And I had to go and say to her, at one point, she's pulling out her boob, and I look over and I say, well, she's somewhat attractive. But I wasn't that interested in seeing it. That annoying.
Yeah.
That annoying. I'm like, I'm not. Like, if the guy next to her pulled out his penis, I'd be the same amount of interest.
You're like, okay, well.
Okay, well, that's time.
Okay, put that
great.
away.
Put it away, you
Right,
know.
yeah.
And so she's doing it and stuff like that. And then she starts getting a little meaner, and I looked at her and I said to her, I said, she was getting kind of nasty. She says, what are you? You're not
No.
interested in this? What are you, gay? Blah, 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 blah. I said, gay or not, I just want you to know, I recognize, did I say this on the last show?
No?
I recognize that you're a human and you're worthy of being loved. I said that.
Eh.
And she chilled out. I said, everyone wants to be loved and accepted. And I love and accept you. I said that to her. I didn't know what to say at the time because she was getting nasty. And I didn't want to be the one to ban her. They were talking about all the bars that ban her. I didn't want to... And I thought, oh, fuck, I could have made a thing that... Well, what happened right after I said that? She put her hand up and high-fived me. And she calmed the fuck down. I didn't know. It was like the dog whisperer thing.
Weird.
I know. I didn't know. I
Whisperer.
didn't mean. Well, I did want to resolve it without a conflict.
Right.
I wanted to go and say it. And I looked. I said, it came to me, and I thought, wow. You know what? I see in your soul. It's like namaste. You ever hear namaste?
Yeah.
My soul recognizes your soul, and you're all right, and I'm all right, and I respect you.
That to get my attention. Like,
No,
I'll be nice to
you and I,
anyway.
you and I are friends and stuff. But this one needed that.
Right.
This
that's
one
what I'm saying.
needed.
Like that's what you were basically telling her. Was
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
need
you.
to do that. To
Oh
get
yeah,
my
yeah.
attention.
I go like this, and I do recognize you and stuff like that.
Right.
And she was so nice after that. She thought about the things she was doing. And she was one of the last 5 customers. And she was so mean-spirited before then. And now I go and talk to her. I go up and do it. And it's
confrontational.
It's non-confrontational. It's not a come on. I'm not saying, potentially we could be a couple. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is like, you're in here, you're all right. You're going to be, and you have the right to act the way your best self is.
Right.
You have the ability, and I expect you to behave that way. And she did.
When we're no longer recording, you need to tell me who this is.
Oh, I will. I will tell you who it is. And you do know who it is.
I probably do.
You do know who it is. And you know what? She was absolutely lovely then. I started recognizing the beauty in her. I really, I really believe if the person isn't completely reprehensible, thank you. If the person isn't completely reprehensible, there's nothing unredeemable about it. And you could bring them back into the fold, and you could just say, you know what? I'm going to love you, I'm going to appreciate you, and I'm going to accept you. And that thing worked for her. Now that's Key Largo. I don't know if that would work in Key West. We're not as big a town, but we get people that come down here, and the nature with Key Largo is we get, especially on the weekend, and this happened last night, we got slammed last night. If you notice, there's no one in town.
Right. Well, they were on their way through? Or what were they doing?
I don't know. It was so busy last night.
It's crazy.
It was
Locals
crazy.
Or as travelers?
A mix of people I've never seen before. I think we did that big party. We did a local customer appreciation.
Yeah, which I missed because I
know.
Late.
But we did that on Saturday night, and we were so busy on a Monday night, it's always a good night for me because I'm at regulars.
Right.
And I did a little about the same I always did, but the rest of the restaurant did great. And I just don't care about me doing well. I like everyone to do well.
Right.
And when the restaurant does well, that makes my job better.
Yeah, and then they get a better.
So with Key Largo, the natures of the difference in the Keys. In Key Largo, you come down, we get a lot of day trippers, especially in the summer. Let's talk about summer.
Well, we get
Miami crowd.
Miami weekenders, which honestly, we're sitting here under my tiki right now, and I will tell you that on this canal right now, where I'm looking around, I think there are 4 of us full-timers, 4 locals, out of the 12 houses that are here.
Oh, or more.
And these houses, the ones we're looking at right here, these are not locals. These are Miami weekenders that come down only on the weekends and party it up and make my life miserable and, whatever. But you should
take off the weekdays.
When you get I wish I could.
Oh, the weekdays are
I
awesome.
wish I could. I'm so busy, though.
I love being off like on a Tuesday and a Wednesday night and a Thursday.
Now, people that come here to be tourists, that come to the Upper Keys and only the Upper Keys, usually come here only for a few different reasons, and that is diving, fishing, and or people that are a little uninformed and come here to go to the beaches because they can fly into Miami cheaper than they can fly into Key West, and they want to relax and they want to eat fish and they want to go to the beautiful restaurants, which we have here, but we don't have a beach here.
Yes.
So that's the biggest question we get. Where's the beach? Where's the beach? Where's the beach? There isn't one. Keep driving. Mm-hmm. But then when you get to Islamorada has more full-timers.
Yes.
Than I think anywhere in the Upper Keys. Because, of course, the Upper Keys are more accessible to the weekenders.
Right. Less rental properties and less seasonal.
It's a very kind of an artistic, like Soho type of area.
Yes.
And then they also have a ton of fishing as well. So you'll see there's certain neighborhoods in Islamorada, which is the Village of Islands, that have, like there's Millionaires Row. That's where we have, plenty of people, plenty of celebrities.
Yep.
producers.
We don't have to.
that
Oh, my,
home
Gene
there.
Hackman, John Landau.
Right.
I mean,
right.
there are celebrities in
Yeah,
there,
and
and
so and of
other
course,
people.
and they're all of my customers because I'm in Key Largo.
Yep.
All that stuff. So when you get down further than that, once you hit, I think Layton,
yeah,
you really stop getting the weekenders completely.
Yep.
There's no more.
Yep.
And now you have snowbirds and full timers. So those people who come down, and a snowbird is somebody who we would call it escapes the snow from where their normal house is.
If you go, Layton is one of those hidden gems. It's the
is.
last one to be developed.
It is.
Layton's small.
Right before you get to Marathon.
Right before we get to Marathon, and there's
Which is
plenty,
the middle key, basically.
yeah, it's the middle key, 60.
Mile marker
62
60 to mile marker 52 to 60, I believe.
is Layton,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get Marathon, which is the next
Now Marathon
is developed.
Marathon is big. Actually, Marathon is much bigger than
You got Key Colony down there.
You do, and you have multiple grocery stores, multiple shopping centers, multiple strip malls, and you also have like a Home Depot.
No, it's
Right?
everything that the Keys need. If you don't want to leave the Keys,
Then you go to
everyone from
Marathon,
Almirada
go south.
south,
To Marathon.
and everyone from Deer Key goes north.
Like well, Big Pine.
Big
yes,
Pine goes north.
But Big Pine has quite a bit of its own industry as well. It just doesn't have as much as
Yes.
Marathon.
No, but if
So,
you
but
need anything, then
Marathon, that's where the 7 Mile Bridge starts. So at the very end of Marathon, that's when you hit the 7
the
Mile
day
Bridge.
trippers don't normally penetrate more further south than Almirada.
No, they don't.
And they hit they hit right up to like mile mark of the sandbar.
70.
Oh, 70?
72, I believe.
72. That's the furthest they'll go to day trippers because you're just driving too long.
Sandbar or
You got
Robbie's.
2 hours going south and 2 hours going north.
Right, and it's too far for a day tripper. But that's when you're getting the tourists, and that's when you're getting the snowbirds that'll come down and stay
Yeah.
for like 2, 3, 4 months at a time. And they own homes here. And then what they do is they'll try to rent them out for the months that they're not here. And that's
Hawks Cay
Hawks Cay.
is uniquely
is actually
people that
a marina.
live there or go there to vacation.
Well,
Almost all.
now, mind you, Hawks Cay is the name of the marina that's on Duck Key Island.
I know, but whole
But Hawks Cay, we have a boat show there. We
Yeah.
have one every year. But it's on Duck Key.
Yeah.
Hawks Cay is a marina on Duck Key, which is right before you get to Marathon, like Grassy Key area.
Mm-hmm.
And beautiful. But hardly anybody lives there full time.
No, but the people that go there, there's no day trippers. They go there to
Right.
vacation.
They go there to
and they're-
vacation. They get all their supplies on their way in, and then they just stay out of everybody's way. It's
that's
much different. Now, you get past the 7 Mile Bridge. Let's say you
Yes.
get through Marathon, which is big.
Yes.
Right? You get past the 7 Mile Bridge, and when you absolutely land from the 7 Mile Bridge back to an island again, you are at Bahia Honda.
Yes.
And Bahia Honda is a
State park.
beautiful state
One
park.
of the nicest state parks in Florida.
I believe it was voted the 3rd most beautiful in the world.
In the world?
I believe
okay.
so. And my sister's favorite place to be. She absolutely loves it. And that is where, now mind you, when you go over 7 Mile Bridge, you can see old 7 Mile.
Yes.
But when you get to Bahia Honda is where you can see the old rail bridge that is still the covered rail bridge intact.
Of
just outside.
the Flagler Railroad, yes.
Absolutely, which is absolutely gorgeous. Now they've taken away the inlets to it, so you can't walk up onto the bridge
Yeah.
anymore because it's falling apart.
Yeah.
It's not safe, and they even have signs underneath for the boaters that pass under it to be careful for falling concrete, falling rocks, anything. But as you get further south, you get into Big Pine. So Big Pine Key it's massive, and it has tons and tons of other little tiny islands that go out from it.
Yeah.
Most of those people, again, are full-timers
Yep.
or snowbirds. You have no weekenders from Miami down there.
And they were hit really big during Irma.
Mm.
That was the one that was hit during Irma.
Well,
As you go further,
south, Cujo Key is where the eye hit, but Big Pine Key was on the dirty side
Yeah.
of the storm, which would be the starboard side of the storm where
Yeah.
everything starts to spin on that side
Yeah.
and then takes the debris and tosses it to its right or to its left. So, see? But
Right, left, yeah.
yeah. But if you get further down now, once you get to Summerlin Key, Sugarloaf Key, Cujo Key, and Shark Key, for example, Shark Key is a completely gated neighborhood. You can't even get in it. You have to have codes. When we, it's a very, very high-end community. Now, those people, anybody that lives down there, they fly in and out of Key West. And those are expensive flights, and those are expensive homes. And I will tell you what, looking at a regular home to buy there, something that's comparable to what I own here, if I wanted to spend the same price, I would be dealing with old, nasty vinyl floors.
What would this...
And my house here, this house here is probably worth about $575. Right?
There.
But down
Here,
there,
here.
if I wanted to spend $575 in Sugarloaf, I will be dealing with a house that has
No, but
nothing.
what would this cost down there?
Oh gosh,
A mil?
maybe $750
Okay. That makes sense.
because of the inside.
Yeah.
Right, because it's all renovated. But when you go down there, I'm like, if I wanted to spend the same price and just move away from the weekend Miamiers and go down south and deal with that and just commute, then you're dealing with houses that haven't been updated since the mid-70s.
That's amazing.
It's ridiculous.
Now, when we're talking about the mentality, why people move those places, they come down, they're staying down there, that's where they are. They're on their boats, that's
a lot
what
of
they
fishermen,
do.
a lot of commercial fishermen.
I did some work down in Longboat Key?
Long Key,
Long Key.
Yeah.
The one off Marathon.
that's Long Key.
They had some big homes there. They had a duplex.
Yeah.
And a duplex. Each side of the duplex would look like it slept like 20.
Yeah.
It was huge.
Big
It was
homes.
freaking huge.
Yep.
And we dove in the pool and stuff like that. Oh, we were asked. We asked to do that stuff.
But once you get into Key West, an actual Key West, okay, this is the different part. There's not a whole lot of fishermen in Key West.
No.
There's hardly any boaters in Key West. Key West is a cap rock island, and it's almost very round, to tell you the truth. There's no canals.
Yep.
There's hardly anybody that lives on the water. And it's more convenient to live on the water if you're a boater if you are in any of the keys north of Key West.
Yes.
So most of the people that are down there aren't there for the fishing. They're not here for the boating. So they don't fish. They don't boat. That's not what they're there for.
Well, I should be down there.
They go down there for the eccentric lifestyle. Is
The
what
body painting,
yes, the
the
events,
fucking
the constant events, the bike rides, the all
dildo
the stuff.
designing,
There's a lot of
the
different
butt plug
issues.
festivals.
Right. So
The
butt plug. Oh, they have their own little homemade boat races every year, which just happened, I believe, last.
oh no, they had it. Yeah.
They make their own little like soapbox boats, and they
No, but you have Duval Street. You got the Duval Street is similar to Bourbon Street, a smaller Bourbon
I
Street.
believe, if my calculations are correct, I believe that over 50% of Key West residents work in the same industry as you. They're
Sure,
bartenders,
50%.
they're food service or bar.
Really?
Yes,
They're
Because
podcasters.
they're
50% are
well
podcasters?
not podcasters.
That would be fucking horrible.
Right. But this is what
I'd
I'm
like
saying.
to see that.
Most of them work in some kind of basically entertainment industry.
Oh yeah, with a lot of
Right.
strippers.
A lot of strippers.
Dante's.
Yes.
You heard about Dante's?
And a lot of them are Europeans.
Well, if you're at Dante's in the pool late in the day after you had a couple of beers, European.
European
Yeah,
in the pool.
yeah, in the pool.
Right.
It's like a DNA soup.
So it's a big difference
Oh,
between
shit, we're
somebody
never going to be able to do a show from there then.
that no, because Dante's
Hey, Christy, have you heard that? Just delete that Dante's reference.
there's a big difference when someone that moves here to move to Key West, or
Yeah.
someone that moves here to move to Islamorada, or someone that moves here to move to
Yeah, I don't know if I'd ever would have hooked up with Abby. I would have just ended up being one of those older guys that was lascivious.
waits for the tourists to arrive.
Yeah, and
then
trying to
lets
hit
them
on
leave. Like
someone
50
in her
50 first
mid
dates.
to upper.
Like 50 first dates.
Yeah, well, no, not.
Right?
That's smoother than I would be. I'd be like in their 40s. That'd have to be everyone in their 40s.
Before he fell in love with the local girl.
I know, but I'd have to go older.
He would hump the
I would have to go
visitors,
older. I'd
and
have to go.
then they would take off. Then he would leave. They would never see him again. Not know what his real name is.
But there's no way to hide. He was on an island. He can go to a different part of the island. And all that stuff.
Yeah, but he played with the visitors.
Yeah, the visitors were.
Right.
Well, I don't want to go into detail. Okay, that's fine. So the differences you get down here, we have day trippers that come down, especially in the summer. We have the day trippers that come down. We have families. It's more family oriented up their Keys than it is in the lower Keys.
Yes.
If you hit Key West, you see more. It's more a party time.
It is.
Even though there's a lot of party time going on up here.
Party. Well, Key West is party 7 days a week.
It's all the time, and it's much later.
This is party time
till
Thursday through Monday, I would say.
Well, there's always a place to go,
Usually.
But it's not a big crowd. The best crowd you're going to get is there's like 3 or 4 places in town. It's Caribbean Club, Sharky's, CJ's.
Yes, but that's more. I mean, not.
But
so much
down in
Caribbean.
Key West, we have like 10 times the concentration of people.
Sharky's and CJ's.
You'll have like any night of the week. You could just go walk down the street and find a place.
Well, of course, there's a bar every
here,
45 feet.
Yeah. And they do have the smallest bar, which I would love to do a show for
the world's smallest bar. Do you know it's for sale?
It is?
Yeah, I saw it online somewhere.
How much?
Like 1.2 mil. The world's
Oh, really?
smallest bar. Yeah. And it's like literally 4 feet wide. Like, it's crazy.
Shit.
It's like a piece of an alleyway in between 2 buildings that were built in the 1800s. It's like insane. Yeah. But I've been in there. I had drinks in there. It's
How much?
cool.
1.2 billion?
Hey?
1.2
1.2, I think. 1.2 million.
1.2 million.
But see, what I find...
1.2 million. What would it have to derive if I'd have to gross that much in 2 years in order to think that I could pay that? So that would be $600,000. That would be $1,800. Yes, you could get $1,800 a day out of that. You could.
Probably could.
You could.
And
I swear to God.
Cruise ships that come in. Now, remember, I am the supplier of almost every rental unit that is used in Key West. Right, so they are street legal golf carts, which are easy to do down there, by the way. I take a golf cart, I change it into a low-speed vehicle. We put a license plate on it. You can drive it on the street. None of the streets in Key West have a speed limit higher than 35, so therefore you can use them everywhere. Now, you can't use them up here because U.S. Highway. I mean, you can't drive them up and down our one in and out.
We had
road.
people this weekend drove like that.
Now, they can drive on the side streets, and you can cross the highway to the nearest side street, but you're not allowed to drive them up and down our highway, right?
Or down the bike path.
Or down the bike path, right.
Which a lot of people have a problem understanding.
Yeah, well, especially after they're drinking.
Yes.
But the biggest thing here, I don't think, is the bars. I don't think that's where the chaos occurs.
The cocaine.
I think it's here. I think it's here in the homes. Because these weekenders that come down, right, they come down with 35 of them. Not just 2 people. Not just
Well, part of it is because we're so close to the mainland.
Yes.
This is where they come down to go to the shore.
Right.
I mean, you can't go to South Beach. South Beach is
overrun.
Overrun and super expensive. So they come down here. You got this guy with I'm looking right across here. There's a trailer that normally would cost if you went to Oklahoma.
That trailer would be
$8,000. $8,000.
But it's sitting on a $300,000 plot of land.
Yes. And there's a Rosa Sharon bush, it looks like, in front of it. Or a azalea.
I have no idea what that is.
That is beautiful bush.
But right next door to it is a double wide. Right here, right? With
700,000.
And,
a pool?
It's kind of a pool. Kind of a halfway up and down pool. But, that double wide has 40 foot of dockage, the equivalent of my dockage, and that double wide has any time between Thursday and Monday circulating between 38 people in and out of that house.
Are you serious?
Not kidding.
Any trainings?
And they're all from Miami.
Oh, really? Any sexy?
I will tell you that
Any attractive people?
they are probably the homeowners are probably in their, I would guess, mid-50s.
Or did some of the people come in there attractive?
And they have at least, I will tell, they have 2 sons that I know of for sure.
Yeah.
And I think one son is early college, and the other one is late high school. So because you can tell when they have different spring breaks.
When all the girls come in?
And there's massive amounts of girls.
And
But high
bikinis
school
and all
girls,
that?
yes. Like with little thongs and, string up their ass and all this shit. Although, they are definitely not old enough to drink. They're old enough to drive because they can get down here and they drive nice cars, new cars, but they're not old enough to drink. So you know that their parents are supplying them with their alcohol. And during for Easter weekend, the week prior to Easter, the younger son was on spring break. So him and 9 of his friends were down here playing beer pong every night. Screaming, yelling, calling each other Metacon, jumping off the roof. If you look close over there, Jim, you're going to see the cinder blocks on the side of the house. See how they have those set up like a staircase?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they climb up those, jump off the top of the house, and jump into the water for like 3-4 days straight.
Wow.
And then their parents come down on the weekends. Same with their uncles and aunts and everybody else. So then as far as the weekend hits, for any holiday, and there's tons of them. And then, of course, you think that they're all going to go. Well, no, the next week, the older son obviously was on spring break, so him and his college buddies were also partying for the next. So it was like torture to sit here.
College buddies were women?
There was many. There was many male, many female. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of screaming.
You notice how what? A lot of what?
A lot of screaming, a lot of drama, a lot of
loud when I hear
voices.
screw, I'm like screaming.
We're
I thought it's screaming. Okay.
So
well, you know what?
So it's irritating. So those are the things that we deal with up here. But in Key West,
they deal with right on the street.
I had a customer come in the other day who had moved to Key West to take a job in IT.
Oh, we forgot about that.
And what he was telling me was his struggles there wasn't so much weekenders. It was the absolute disrespect of the tourists. The people that came off the ships.
Oh, really?
The people that would fly in for a week to stay at the hotels and go visit their local venues, all these venues. And that they're so drunk all the time that they're literally uncontrollable. The police are constantly, the police in Key West are constantly on the move dealing with them. And the other problem that they have is the homeless.
Oh, yeah, no, well, if you follow...
And what he was saying was that he literally had a butter knife from a drunk homeless guy pulled on him twice, and he's only lived there for 8 months.
A butter knife?
A butter knife. Because what they do is the homeless guy goes into this local restaurant, and then they kick him out because he's normally in there trying to sneak food or do whatever. They kick him out, he steals a butter knife on his way out, and then he goes and tries to rob people on the street.
What's a butter knife?
I know. So, of course, he disarmed this homeless man, punched him in the face, knocked him down, called the cops. The cops showed up. And,
solar plexus, face, that knocks him right out.
And the cops were like, well, you were never here, and he never pulled a knife on you. Have a nice day. And they take the guy to jail for being drunk in public.
I know, they do that. I noticed that. And you know what? It's not a secret.
Right.
It just happens.
Of
but
course.
You know what? In Vegas, it could have ended up in death. In New Orleans. Here, it's a funny story. You know?
Yeah, but I'm sure it gets old.
I know it does get old, but I mean that's what happens down there.
It
does get old for the locals, but I mean that's what you heard about the lady in Costa Rica. Punta Cana, just got shit kicked out of her when she was there last week.
What?
Yeah, she was on a vacation. I'm not going to talk about it. We're at the end of it, so 48 minutes. We're at 48 minutes.
48
40 minutes. 48 minutes. We did it. I think I'm done. I can't
We didn't
talk.
even turn the lights on.
I know, we didn't get it.
Dark
I
out
can't see
here.
anything. This is Jim the Keys bartender. I want to say, hey, thank you for joining us, Jenna.
Thank you. Please leave us a review, everyone.
Yes, and come back again next week. I don't even know what else to say. Bye.
Bye.
I can't do a
Third.
channel.
After a long day of being pulled in every direction, the last thing anyone wants to think about is what's for dinner. That's where Schwann's can help, with a variety of real food choices, frozen to lock in freshness. From ready-made meals, premium meats and side dishes, to vegetables, ice cream, and more. Schwann's foods go from freezer to table in minutes, not hours, so you can pull off a delicious meal in no time at all. Ordered, delivered, done. That's homemade easy. To help simplify mealtime, visit schwans.com. This is Julie.
Hey, calendar, what's my morning like?
Julie's about to have a long day.
At 9 a.m., soccer carpool. 9:10, purchase birthday card. 9:05, dry cleaning.
Did you just go backwards?
I'm sorry, I can't fit that question into your schedule. 9:15, cry for a little bit.
For days that won't end, let Schwann's help. With Schwann's, you can get delicious meals that go from freezer to table in minutes, not hours. Ordered, delivered, done. That's homemade easy. Visit today at schwans.com.